Good afternoon from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Wednesday, February the 17th market update. On the economic front, housing starts were up 2.8% or 591,000, but permits fell 4.9%. Industrial production showed an increase of 0.9%, a little better than expected, and capacity utilization was in line at 72.6%. Treasury budget eased down a little bit by 42.6 billion, and we also had the prior FOMC minutes that were released today. So the initial knee-jerk reaction from that was some selling, but it did level off, and we actually, closed slightly higher. So that it was, so it was a pretty good day, nice consolidation day after a huge rally like that. So kind of a low volume, but it was a pretty good day. We do have a lot of economic data out to digest tomorrow. On deck is the weekly jobless claims. We have the producer price index tomorrow, Philly Fed, petroleum, and nat gas reports. The dollar, copper, and oil were all higher. Gold and silver were down. Take a look at the UUP, the dollar ETF here. So light volume. We haven't had any buying or selling in the dollar as of late. There's just not much going on here. And the MACD is actually a little lower. We'll see where the dollar goes from here. I'm not sure, convinced if it's up or down at this point. Light Sweet Crude futures were up another 32 cents today to settle at $77.32 a barrel. And let's go look at the point and figure for West Texas Intermediate crude. There's really no change from yesterday. We'll take a look real quick though. So we go back on a buy signal at 79, but we also have a bearish trend line. So we're going to have some resistance there at 79 on oil. So we'll see if oil can go much higher or not, or if we're at resistance. Take a look at the Dow. Dow closed up 40 points to 10,309. S&P closed up 4 points to 1,099. NASDAQ closed up 12 points to 2,226, and the Russell closed up 4 points to 624. The Russell had the larger percent gain at 0.64%. The Dow had the smallest percent gain at 0.39%. So, it's pretty bullish that the Russell was leading, so that's kind of bullish. There was another light volume day in the market. There wasn't really buyers or sellers, not much going on, and the market held up well. So I don't know. I'm kind of leaving me thinking we might have a little higher to go before we have a pullback. So even though we'll look at the McClellan, even though we are kind of a little overbought. So let's look at the Dow real quick. I talked about the 10,300 areas being resistance. Closed at 10,309 today. We do have the 30 and we have the 50 overhead, which could be some resistance for the Dow, and the S&P looks like it too. It hasn't been able to overcome this 1100 area, as far as closing above it, and it's got the 30 and the 50 right there, so that can be resistance. So, this gets the stochastic momentum index actually look like it's got some angle separation. We actually could have a little more uppage, and the amount on the MACD is awful high though, but we can go higher. I mean, the MACD can go higher than here, but that's pretty high. Like we were here. I mean, this is higher than we were here and here, but about where it is there. So we'll continue to watch that. Let's go look at the McClellan, see what it did today. I know it went a little higher because we went higher. So the NYSE McClellan oscillator, now we're up to 45. Anywhere up in here is overbought, and we've rolled over from lower areas than this before. So we're a little overbought, not bad. Really, we need to be more in the level of 60 or to 80, but we haven't been like that in a long time. So we'll continue to watch the oscillator. So let's take a look at Goldman Sachs is up against possible resistance level. Again, no volume in gold. There's been no volume in the market actually here of late. There's just not a lot after that, after last week. There hasn't been much volume. We had some really good volume, back here. On Goldman, we haven't had a lot since early February, really. On XLF, I mean, on the financials. So financials are looking okay though. They've MACD's crossed up in here. I think we could get up to here. So I think we might have a little uppage. I've been talking about that in the financials because they've been so weak, and I think they're just kind of biding their time here. And typically, like I said, the institutions will move to something that hasn't really moved up that much yet, and then they'll sell it into strength. So gold consolidated sideways, didn't go much of anywhere today, so that's pretty bullish. And silver really didn't either, and there's light volume. So let's go look at the sectors. 10 of the 16 sectors we follow finished in the green today. The biotech index led, up 1.64%. The gold index was the weakest, down 1.29%. So I talked about watching the bank and the gold rotate. So a couple of days of selling gold, typically it'll get a pop and it'll wind up being the leader. Same way with the banks. The banks were pretty strong yesterday, so now they're way down here today. So we'll continue to monitor that and see how that kind of plays out. Let's take a look at the VIX, and then we'll go to Chart Watch. I have a few new charts to look at, but not a lot. VIX was still down today. The MACD is even going lower than it was here, so that looks like we could have definitely, the VIX could actually possibly go lower into here. So Chart Watch, CGA, like that. Nice breakout, nice volume out of the continuation wedge, looking good. Atlas Energy broke out today with volume, looking good. China Automotive Systems, not a lot of volume, breaking out higher, has a little tiny little mini inverted head and shoulders thing going on. Abercrombie had some decent earnings. It's got resistance at that bearish trend line, so watch it for a breakout above it or a possibly rejection, and then buy it down here near, use this trend line as a support level around 33. Atheros Communications, lots of volume. I think it should be good up to 37 or so anyway. State Street, keep it on your watch list. Still like it if the financials can get a bid here the next few days. Morgan Stanley, still holding up tough, really light volume. JP Morgan, it's another one. It's just, it's above its, bearish trend line, but just not going anywhere. That, of course, because we had that consolidation day today. So still keep Wells Fargo. All these we've been watching still look okay. This thing's looking good. They tried to sell it off and bought it back up. So keep it on your watch list. Keep this shipper on here. It actually looked pretty good today. RRC still looking good. Tons of volume in this thing. ExxonMobil pulled back again. No volume on the pullback, but it has crossed above its downtrend line. Excuse me. Southwest Energy still looking good. All the rest of these we looked at yesterday, but they're still valid and they're okay. There was a real light on APA, so this thing's real strong. This Anadarko Petroleum, APC, volume coming in, looking good. Quicksilver's looking all right. They didn't really want to sell these today. They pulled, they were down just a little bit, but on really light volume, so the stills are still looking all right. This thing went flying today. We're watching it. I still think it might come back and actually go higher. I think it can get up closer to 13. We'll see if that happens, but whoops. Come on, CMI. We've been watching this one. I still like it. On dips, real strong stocks on dips. NetLogic, DRI still looking pretty good. We've been watching this Texas Roadhouse. I like it. Still looking good. RIM. Had a light little pullback yesterday, had a little buying today, still looks good. Home Depot went up today, had some nice move there in Home Depot. KBH, Liz, still looking good. PL, still looking fine. This thing's, they wanted to go higher today, but the market just wasn't strong enough. Had very, very light volume on this AMX. I think it could be good to go higher if the market can turn and go a little bit higher. Plum Creek Timber's real strong, lots of volume coming in, does have some overhead resistance. Watch for a breakout above the bearish trend line. Enbridge, been watching this one. It's another one's look really good. Tons of volume in this thing. And IP got rejected by its downtrend line, but on really light volume. So watch for a breakout of, above the downtrend line here on international paper, or a low risk buy point would be better if you can get it down in this area here. Let's go take a look at the point and figure charts. We follow the point and figure chart for the Dow, the Nasdaq, S&P. All three are now on buy signals as of yesterday. And with the move higher today, the Dow actually changed its price objective, increased it again today from 10,800 to 10,950. And the NASDAQ price objective increased from 2,420 to 2,450. So that's really it. It was a pretty good day, actually. I can't really think we're going to have a big sell-off or anything, but so that's really all I have. Thanks for joining me today, and remember to always invest sharp.